Letters of John Nelson Darby, Volume 1, Letter 309F, of 1031. p. 517, from the French. The truth spreads, but it is another thing to take up one's cross. And I observe that, when one does not act according to the truth, there is no solidity, religious views are trifled with. When we follow the truth, difficulties are there, and the opposition of the world, that renders us serious. We must know how to give an account of our convictions, then this does not suit the flesh, and the truth must reign in the heart, in order for the victory to be won. Grace does not lend itself to levity and license in the doctrine itself. It is not bursts of steam, the engine must move onwards, and move on with a good deal to be drawn. There is responsibility with respect to oneself, to the Lord's name and His work. We must take into account this tendency in the present day. We find not a few who like to hear new truth, but who have no idea of walking in the truth in a practical way. We must have patience, we must have a large heart, but a heart which acknowledges nothing but Christ for its end, and follows Him, or, at least, seeks to do so. We lose our time with amateurs. There is real dignity in the truth, which demands from one to respect it in a practical way. But you know it. In these last days we need firmness, and a large heart which knows how to take forth the precious from the vile. Obedience is firm and humble, grace, meekness, love ought to be there. But the truth needs not man, man needs the truth. Love feels the need of seeking souls, but souls should submit to Christ and acknowledge His grace. How strikingly the Lord, in John, always places Himself in a position where He receives everything from the Father, Alpha Upsilon Tau Nu Kappa Nu Omega Sigma Epsilon, emptied Himself. We see deity piercing through the veil, so to speak, in every word. We see that He and the Father are one, but He who is one with the Father now received everything from His hands. It is the voice of one who can speak with the Father as a divine person, but He does not say, I will glorify myself, but, on the contrary, glorify thou me. In 3 days I will raise it up, but it is as separating, so to speak, His body from Himself, and speaking of it as of a temple in which He dwelt. His person has come before me of late in a very living way in reading that gospel. Moreover, the Gospels have afforded me much food in these times. But how puny we are in comparison with all His grace, and all that will reveal itself to us when we shall be with Him in glory. May God teach us to take up our cross and follow Him who alone is worthy of it. Some would let go the truth, because it is difficult to reconcile it with charity. Hold it fast, we are sanctified by the truth. Christ Himself is the truth. I admit the difficulty, but grace is sufficient for us. Cordial love to all the brethren, may God keep them and bless them. New York, 1868. 51309 F.